What is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Michael. Today I want to talk a little bit about understanding jungle timings as a support. So what I have on the picture is we have a little path, a little route that most junglers would take to gank bot lane around 2:30 to 3 minutes in. The way you can kind of tell where a jungler starts to know the pathing they're going to take is by where the mid laner gets the lane. So for example, if the mid laner goes through a side lane that is marked with the black, then the jungler starts with red buff. If they go through a side lane marked with the white, then the jungler started blue buff. This is going to be an example of a 2.5 to 3 minute timing. Zac is going to start red buff, and TF is going to come to lane through here. So as a support, you should assume that Zac started red buff. Zac's going to get his red. He's going to mosey on down to his blue. This will be a red to blue to bot lane gank route. Takes his blue buff as well, so now he's all double buffed up. He's going to get to bot lane around 2:55, right in time for me to go aggressive onto Ezreal. And then I'm going to die because my lack of proper timing this game got me killed. I actually thought that Zac went blue to red to top. I didn't actually notice or pay attention to where TF came from, so I kind of made a mistake and I died because of it. So that's just a little example of a red to a blue to a bot lane gank overall kind of timing. This next route is going to be more of a longer route. Basically, the jungler starts on the same side as their bot lane, or as the enemy bot lane as well. They go to their buff that is on the other side of the map, next to the top lane, that being the red or the blue buff, and they loop back around to go to bot lane. With this type of route, you want to make sure that they are indeed doing this by checking to see if they've shown themselves either top lane or mid lane, because with this type of route, it's much more easier for the jungler to gank those lanes because they're closer, instead of wasting time walking all the way back down to the bot lane. Alright, so this is an example of a blue to a red to a bot lane gank. Again, look to see where the mid laner comes to lane from. Comes from right here, so it's a blue buff start. And also their lane came to lane at the same time we did, and we gave our jungler Alicia red. So Jawaii's going to go blue to red to her Wraiths, and then to Wolves, and then come and gank bot lane. As a support, you want to have a ward somewhere in River or Tri-Brush around 3:30. I mess up this game and I don't, but due to the way that they play this out, we're actually able to kind of get a feel for the gank. Because they walk up like this, just randomly, it kind of tips us off, and because they start walking up past the caster minions, it's even more alarming, because nobody really does that. Nobody plays that far forward without some kind of backup. And indeed, we were getting ganked, so although we didn't have wards, we were able to kind of escape that luckily enough, and that's just an example of a red to a blue to the bot lane gank. It was around a 340 gank, somewhere in that area. To wrap up, we'll talk a little bit about why it's important to understand jungle timings. It's important to understand jungle timings because it does a couple of things. One, it allows you to maximize ward coverage by knowing when to place your wards based upon the overall timing of the jungler. It also allows you to know when to play passively or aggressively based upon where the jungler may be. It allows you to have a little more lane control simply by understanding where the jungler may be present within a given time frame.